7 p.m. kickoff, Independence Bowl Stadium.
This is where we hold them.
Grambling State Tigers.
This is where we fight.
Langston University Lions.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Shreveport Kickoff Classic. Get tickets at Ticketmaster and all usual outlets. Sponsored by the state of Louisiana, City of Shreveport, Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission, Caddo Parish, and visit Shreveport Bossier.
Labor Day Classic. Went in the dust.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're getting in here. I'd like to welcome everybody to the HBCU Coaches Corner. My name is Rocky Miller. I'm along here with the co-host, the Rattler, Mr. Stephen Campbell, and your featured host, Where One Night in Mississippi. Or was it Texas Southern, Coach?
Both the year 84 and 85, Coach.
Battling Willie the Satellite Totten and Jerry Rice against all odds. Johnnie Cole endeavored to defeat the Devils, the Delta Devils. In an attempt to defeat them, he threw 6 touchdowns. Unfortunately, he was defeated in that game. But he definitely left an impression on Jerry Rice, the gunslinger, and Willie Totten. With no further ado, my man, Johnnie Cole.
Bishop, I don't know if he like the 6 touchdowns or that we lost. I don't know which one to get off on, man. Probably got my butt kicked.
Hey, Coach, you gave him the devil that night, Coach. You gave him the business.
Yeah, man. I had a great night, but I had a lot of great guys around me. I was the unfortunate one. All my receivers, they went to go play pro ball, pro and Canadian ball. I was at home. So,
hey, Coach, but you found something to do in the meantime, Coach.
Without a doubt. You know, the guy who taught me the game, Lionel Taylor, man, ended up giving me a full-time job right out of high school. So what can I say? But we got this week coming, college football at its best coming, starting on Thursday. UAB and Alabama State, that's a big one. We got Southern, Mississippi Valley, that's another big one. When you're talking about HBCUs are clashing, and the man we about to bring on, we're going to put on the show, the commercial, and then we're going to bring the head coach of Langston University in.
Rivalry is back. Shreveport Kickoff Classic. The Battle of the Big Cats. Saturday, August 30th in Shreveport, 7 p.m. kickoff, Independence Bowl Stadium.
This is where we hold them.
Grambling State Tigers.
This is where we fight.
Langston University Lions.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Shreveport Kickoff Classic. Get tickets at Ticketmaster and all usual outlets. Sponsored by the state of Louisiana, City of Shreveport, Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission, Caddo Parish, and visit Shreveport Bossier.
Hey, Coach, what's going on, man?
All right, Coach, how about yourself? Hey, excuse me, Coach. I know how you are about attire, man. I just got to practice. So, normally I'll be dressed for the occasion, Coach. So forgive me. Give me a pass on this one here.
Well, we're trying to show you some love on. We got the video. Unfortunately, stuff ain't working a little slow tonight. Let me just say that, because we definitely want to honor you. We want to let folks know that I'm going to call one now, Quinton, the next head football coach, probably at Arkansas Pine Bluff. I didn't say that, did I?
You did, Coach.
But We just want to make sure that people don't sleep on you. You know, no more since our show started that people sleep on these good coaches, and we want to expose that. Is it gonna come on, coach, or we gonna move on?
Hey, it played, coach.
Did it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it played?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we just didn't see it. Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool. Hey, with no further ado, the man, the myth, 59 wins and 22 losses.
No, correct it. Correct him, coach.
71 wins, 29 losses.
Okay, well, 71.
Yes, sir.
Give me my other 20.
Yes, sir. So that was probably from 18, 19. I mean, roughly around at 18, 19, 20. I've had a couple of seasons that stacked up to now. I'm like at 71 wins and 29 losses. I'm looking to hit that 75 win mark this year, somewhere around midpoint of the season.
Yeah, then we need to get you out of there. You know, we need to get you off of welfare. You know, and so you can really do some damage. Okay,
Yes, sir.
71 wins and 29 losses, man.
Yes, sir.
The man has great experience. He's been there for a while. He's kept them on top. 1-10-0 season. Also another championship in the league, because it seems like Langston jumped from league to league to league out there.
Yeah, we started off in the CSFL, which is the Central States Football League, and then from there, the Sooner Athletic picked up football, and so when the Sooner picked up football, we all left the CSFL and transitioned to the Sooner, which was a more prestigious conference, specifically when it comes to like baseball, your softball, and your basketball. And so when they added football on to their list of sports up under the conference, all the schools that were in the CSFL kind of like transitioned over. But then we also got some schools that were not in our conference that came by way of Arizona and a couple other different places, Arkansas, down in Houston. So it's just a mix of multiple different schools with great programs, though, Coach.
Yeah. Now, have you guys ever thought about joining the SIAC? Or is it just too far? It'd just be too much money on the travel?
I think that would be the case right now. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be a little bit too far for us to travel. At one point in time, I do know for a fact that when I was attending here, finishing up, we were in transition to make that jump to the CAC, but we never did, okay? And then we ended up staying in NAIA. Man, I would love that competition every week. You know, it's a big difference for playing against your PWIs every week as opposed to playing against your HBCUs. And if we can have that HBCU schedule every week, we would love that.
Yeah, one thing about you was, you came from a winning program. You're a Jacksonian as well.
Yes,
Jackson
sir.
State, Big Blue.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I played a little bit there. Played a little baseball and a little football at Jackson State, but I started off my collegiate career at Southern University up under the tutelage of Coach Roger Kadar. One of the legendary baseball coaches. You know, it was a blessing to be up on them for the time that I was. I learned a whole lot from him, and as well as when I got to Jackson State, I had the opportunity to play up under Coach Mark Salter and Coach Omar Johnson, who's currently the head baseball coach at Jackson State right now. Learned a lot of life lessons from those guys. And then at the time I was out there also playing football too. And at that time, Coach James Bell was the head coach up at Jackson State. So I was there during his tutelage and got the opportunity to play up under Greg Johnson and learned a lot from Coach Johnson, man. That he was the person that gave me my opportunity in the coaching, and I'm so grateful that he did that. So that's one of the trees that I fell from up under as well. Coach Greg Johnson, he was the defensive coordinator at Jackson State, and he left there and became the head coach at Langston for his second term. And we went down to Langston with him, and we created that winning culture back here in Langston. We recreated it back in 2005, and we've just been soaring ever since.
Right. Well, let me make sure I let people know who they're talking to. Again, he's 71 and 29. He's been in Langston as the head college football coach, 2 championships, so that makes him a championship coach, a 10-0 season, and he's done it with only 13 scholarships, and that might be just 13 right now. You might have at one time was at 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I've
well,
been
you know how
there.
it is. The cost of
Yeah.
tuition goes up, but the budget, doesn't really move. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And coach, to be honest with you, I had that 10-0 season, but it really was like 20-0, okay, for regular season, because I had the Lightning cancellation against Southern. So that game was that was the loss the very next year after the undefeated season. It was a Lightning cancellation. So technically we would have went 20-0 in the regular season. And but yeah, coach, it's been a beautiful ride here, coach. I love it. This place has been great to me. It gave me this opportunity to be a head coach, and so I'm forever, grateful and indebted here at Langston.
Yeah, so we got a lot of fans, man. We had 2 million members. I forgot to thank them when we opened up, guys. That we had 2 million views last year. So we want to make sure that when they start, all these folks start talking about coaches, because of course there's a carousel, there's what, of course, coach, there's a hot seat, and viewers don't understand that there's 2 type of coaches, one to get hired and one to get fired. And if you've been in this business long enough, you've been on both sides of the desk. So when you guys start talking and looking about a coach, you need to look at Quinton Morgan. I don't think there's a guy out there that's 70-something and 29. I mean, that's an incredible record. He got the school going in the right direction, the football program going in the direction. Just think if he had a little more, Coach, how do you do it? Do you get your support from your university as well as the academic side or academic money? How do you put these scholarships together to keep getting?
It's kind of like you hit it right there. You go after scholars, and you kind of like gotta, make the money balance up to make sure we put these kids in a good situation. I'm not one of those coaches that get kids here and put them in a situation that's going to have them in depth throughout the rest of their lives, man. That's unfair to them. So I try to get them here and put them in the best situation as possible when it comes to, funding. So we look for those kids who have those great GPAs, so we can take a little bit of academic money and use that with athletic money and make the cost feasible as possible for these young men and that come here and play for me. So that's part of the process, to be totally honest with you, Coach.
Now you great go up against this Goliath named Grambling up in Shreveport on their land. You got 13 scholarships. You're going up there with pop guns, playing a team with machine guns. How you feeling about that? Of course, I know you, but you probably need to tell the viewers, you ain't this ain't no money game for you. With Coach Joseph, y'all work together.
Yeah.
Y'all good friends.
I consider this game as a family affair. I call Uncle, Coach Joseph. It's like an uncle to me. He's been around me for a long time. I coached with him here, as you stated, Coach Cole, and I learned a lot from him. To be totally honest with you, what I do know about Coach Joseph, he's a very kind individual, man. The man to give you the shirt off his back, and he expressed that and showed that when he was a coach here. When I was just a young grad assistant coach, he took me up under his wing. It was times I didn't have, and he made sure I have. So he became more like family, and I learned from his brother Vance as well. So I got an opportunity to pick their minds and take what I've learned from them and use it in my own recipe. And so I'm grateful that I had those individuals come across me. But come Saturday, it's just a game, Coach. It's a game. They got to put their pants on the same way we do, one leg at a time. The 65 scholarships, that does not intimidate me. I can care less about that because at any given day, Team B can come and beat Team A if Team A doesn't come to play. So our goal is just to keep our head down and work hard and stay humble, Coach, to be honest with you. Everything going to take care of itself.
Yeah. Yeah, now, you wouldn't sneak in there with that humble attitude with me. I know you in there trying to set some up. I know you got them kids fired up out there, Coach.
Absolutely though, Coach. They a lot of my kids won't get this experience again. You know, I've had the experience of being at a capital city classic and being in it. You know what I'm saying? And seeing the atmosphere of a real HBCU classic or football game when you look on both sides and it's packed. There's standing room. I've had that experience, and I'm glad that my kids are going to get this opportunity to be able to see what I had the opportunity to experience as a SWAC player and as a HBCU graduate. You know, when it's all said and done, we all HBCUs. You know, whether it's SWAC, SEAC, us, NAI, we all HBCUs, and I think that this is a great time for us to show a great competitive game, and at the same time show unity, Coach. Yeah. You know, because we all won when it's all said and done.
Well, I'm gonna make sure our viewers know now you're a sleeping giant. You're a Louisiana boy from New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
You get a lot of your players from down there. I know you with the sorry story. You want us to go to sleep, then all of a sudden Langston is don't beat Grambling this coming week. But he ain't. Look, this is a guy that knows his football. He's a great recruiter. He has contacts in Louisiana. How do you got a what they call that?
Coach, I'm all over
Underground Railroad. But
Coach, I'm trying to bring. I'm trying to bring Midwest to the South, Coach.
Okay.
All right. I already got my paws in the South, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas. I touched them, but I'm bringing the Midwest down that way. So you're gonna get kids. You're gonna see kids from Oklahoma, Kansas, California, Louisiana, Texas. My roster is a very, I would say,
diverse.
It's diverse roster, yes, and not just in geography, but I'm gonna say in culture as well, Coach.
Yeah. You do a good job, Coach. Talk about your coaches. I mean, of course, I've said it.
I'm nothing without them, Coach. I'm nothing without them. That's the reason why I can sit here in front of you guys and speak about 71 wins and 29 losses. I'm just a face, but I got some men that work behind me that help make this easier for me to get up here and talk about. I got a group of guys that believe in my vision and my philosophy, and they all dug in, and we've been successful at it. And I think our most important attribute that we have that most coaches are forgetting about is that we love to develop young men. That's our biggest thing. We believe in developing young men, not just in football, but in life in general.
Yeah, let me, because I know my guys, they biting at the bit. They got your stats and all that. They ain't gonna let you. We ain't gonna let you sneak out of here. Here's the number one question. This is almost, and my guys, y'all gonna laugh for this. The number one question, talking to y'all HBCU coach, man, do you got the starting quarterback, or you ain't gonna announce it till game time?
I'm not about to give Mickey nothing he can go look up on. I saw the interview. If he don't want to give you nothing, I'm not about to give you nothing. What did he tell you, Coach? They're going to have to go do the research, huh? Ain't that what he said on the interview, Coach? I seen what Uncle told you. He said, yeah, they're going to do I ain't going to give all that. They're going to do their research. That's what he said, Coach. I seen him.
Hey, I thought the starting quarterback always is on the front page of the program.
Coach, listen, mine are going to battle it out until we get ready to get on the bus.
Man, but I tell you, that's Mick, Rocky. That's why I hate the spread offense. I hate the spread offense. It's killing our quarterback.
Hey, Coach, all the coaches.
I didn't say we running the spread though, Coach. I didn't say that though.
Hey, everybody playing hide the quarterback. You understand?
Yeah. Don't nobody want to give up who gonna be behind the center.
We're there when that ball kicked out. Gotta run out there.
This is true. Now, Coach, can I digress right quick, because I do want to say something that I told my guys, my football players. I'm proud of them, Coach. This year, my kids had the cumulative of a 3.14 GPA average.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's something that needs to be, bragged about more than my championships and my wins, to be totally honest with you. I took a program that had a cumulative of a 2.4, and now within my 10-year span, it's up to a 3.14 cumulative. So that means that's the average of the team. And so I'm very, very proud of it. I hit the 3.0 mark last year, and this year we raised the bar again to a 3.14. So this is just a shout out to my players. Coach is so proud of y'all understanding that we're using this sport, not letting it use us.
Well, let me shout this out too, because academics and athletics go together. But I gotta shout out your record. You average 7.29 wins a year. You 7 wins. You gonna get 7 wins,
Yes,
man. That's outstanding, man. So, hey, go ahead, guys. I'll come back a little later and ask. I just want to warm you up a little bit.
Coach, you got what I consider a big game coming up, Coach, and I just want to know: have you, in your past 10 years, have you had an opportunity like this before to take down Goliath? And how did it go last time?
Well, I spoke about that. I actually I hadn't had opportunity to coach as head coach against Grambling, but we have had that game against Southern back in I want to say 19. So I understand the lay of the land and the atmosphere, what it's going to be like, and I've been doing my best to prepare our kids. I think one of the biggest things that we're going to have to adjust to is the crowd noise and the bands. Because when we're in our conference game, we're the only team with a big band, and so they got rules and bylaws for us that we can't play in certain times. So our band can't be our our extended hand. So we're gonna have to get accustomed to basically the crowd noise and the bands, and that's something that we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. We've had the speakers blasting real loud so where the guys can't hear us, and they just got to understand hand signals. So it's little things like that I'm trying to have them see before the game hits, and then we look discombobulated out of there.
Okay. Coach, the other thing I want to ask for your players, for the guys that are taking advantage of this opportunity. Coach mentioned the term money game. Coach, that's something that where NAIA schools and NCAA school, FCS schools play the likes of Nebraska and Ohio State for money.
Mm-hmm.
In this era, I think these are money games in a different way, Coach. With NIL, a player from your school like yours can go show his talent on the stage with Grambling and earn himself potentially an opportunity to make some money in college as well. Absolutely. As a coach, do you talk about that opportunity that your players have when they go play schools like Grambling and bigger schools?
Absolutely. I think you we've been foolish not to, and especially if you care about the kids and you want to see them in a better situation, and that's how I am. When it all comes down to it, man, I love my kids first. The kids will be before the logo because those are the ones who helped me keep the logo on my chest. And so, when it comes to them bettering themselves and helping their family, man, you gotta push for that for these babies. We got to. And so I've already used that selling point about this game, believe it or not, letting them know that, hey, this is going to be a big stage. You go out there and no telling who may get an NIL, no telling who may get a call up. As for example, like last year we played against UCO, University of Central Oklahoma. They ended up being one of the top Division II teams in the nation. They roughly lost right around the semifinals, but a lot of guys off that team got big time NIL deals. Okay, so one of the young men, I think he ended up at Oklahoma State and got a huge NIL deal, the receiver that they had. I can't call his name off top, but I do know for a fact that was running around our press up here in Oklahoma. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for our kids, man. I wish the best for them. I pray that one of them can get someone attention and get an NIL deal and change their situations.
I always wonder about that, Coach, because at the end of the day, it improves the kid's circumstance if they can.
Correct.
Whether they take it or not, it's up to them. But the opportunity of it, get a kid having an opportunity where you only have 13 scholarships and they could possibly get a full ride and some money to go along with it, Coach. I'm glad that you're a guy that knows that that's an opportunity for a kid and is willing to express that openly with your team.
Yeah, you can't. There's no blessings being selfish like that. There won't be any blessings coming to you, worried about your wins and losses as opposed to making sure that this kid is stable. Because some of this can be generational wealth for these kids, So no, I'm not a selfish individual like that. Nah, no.
But with that being said, Coach, who are some of the guys, without giving any secrets away, that could make an impact in this game on
Let's see,
Saturday?
I got the simplest way I can do this here. I got JT, PH. I got a couple of initials I can give you that I think are going to show up at this game. But I'm not going to give you no names. You know, I can give you some initials. You know, I got a couple of them that's going to show up. But no, it's a couple of guys that I got, you know, in program right now that they still got to prove themselves to me in order for me to be mentioning their name over these airwaves. You know, and so I'm gonna keep it like that. We're still working. We're still trying to put everything together, and you know, we're excited about this. And we can't wait to get on the field with Grambling because this is going to be our first measuring test of the year. You know, even though it's a big game to some, to us, we're looking at it as a warm up for us to get in the conference. So you know, my goal is to win our conference and go on into, you know, playoff play. That's my long-term goal.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this. Can you tell me how many players you were able to retain off last season? Then how many players?
Roughly about 60.
Okay, and how many?
I had 155 in camp.
Jesus, Coach, what they dress up? They like old school, dress up in their room and come to practice.
No sir.
Man, they double up and triple up in the locker room. Hell, I've been there. I know. You'd be 3 helmets in one locker.
We had about 155 in camp. We have 155 in camp.
You must mandatory showers. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I remember in Lane's shoot, man. Look, that was one of the things we had to do. They hadn't turned the shower on since the school was built. So we had to come and go. We built it ourselves with our own hands.
I remember coming to Lane when I was a young grad assistant and playing against y'all, Coach. I was on staff with Greg when we came up there, Coach. I was just a young pup. Like I'm telling you, I watched all you old greats, man. Y'all paved the way for us, and Coach, I want to thank you, man.
I appreciate your office look fantastic, man. You look D1 up in there.
Coach, look, listen, me and my fiance, Amber, we got in here, and this is me and her work, man, and we got in here, we painted this ourselves, you know. Yeah. I got a woman that digs in and she helps, and I love her to death for it.
Sound like you, Coach. Bill to know you and Coach LC putting in lockers and all that kind of stuff in Lane. I'd heard those stories, Coach.
You don't complain about it, Coach. You love your HBCU, and this came out of our pockets. You know what I'm saying? We paid for this out of our pockets, everything that we done in here. And I'm not gonna get up here and bash like, oh no, my school didn't do it. No, this is just something that this is us giving back. You know, the school has given me so much, so this is us giving back.
Yeah, y'all see those 2 trophies back there? You know,
so I got 3 of them, Coach. So I got a couple of them back there. You just
I
really got 3 conference championships. So I got 3 conference championships, not 2. You've been telling people 2, but it's all good. I still love you. but yeah, Coach. She's done a great job, Coach. She's my biggest support system, man. And this is the reason why my office looked the way it does. We actually took a time out of our weekend and we painted it and did all the hard work ourselves.
Yeah. So and what's your slogan back in the back, Coach?
Hard work is the company of success, Coach. That's me.
Okay.
You can't have one without the other. There's no such thing as winning championships without the hard work put in.
Well, you won't give us some players, but I know who will give us some players. Come on, Bishop. I know you got the players.
Well, you know, Coach, you see I got the background. You see what I got. Right?
I see you, bro.
You see how we rolling, Coach.
I see you rolling.
Listen, man. I've been, when you first came on, young brother, I was excited to see and watch you, and you're back on. But I was getting ready to go one direction. You guys are going to have to give me just a few minutes because this brother here, Coach, let me tell you something. I've been championed, right? You know how you go to the barbershop and stuff like that, and you have fathers with their sons, right?
Yeah.
So I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. And what I have found out, we have a lot of black men. And again, I always say this, mothers have like football too, but I'm just talking to the fathers. And we have a lot of the fathers that don't know about HBC football. They know about the Georgias and the Oklahomas and Texas and things like that. And they had their kids. I was watching their boys because they, hey, Mr. Campbell, I know you know somebody in football, and send me their huddle tapes, right? And I'm like, listen, man, let me tell you something. I know your kid wants to go to Georgia. I know your kid. But I'm telling you something. There's some great places where he can actually play, develop, get a great education. So I saw a question in the chat because I'm going to say that I got a lot of these barbershop daddies watching because of me, right?
Okay.
And this is, I think, is important because this would hit these kids' fathers. You made a statement that you raised that GPA, right? What did you do specifically? I know you recruited, they say scholars, but because that has a lot to do with you on the focus. So I'm going to talk about your players and say, but I want to just drive that home because we got a lot of daddies that understand that if they can get the length to get coached by you, that their kids not only are going to be scholars, they're going to be graduates and things like that. So I want you to just hit on that real point real quick. I don't want to gloss over that.
The way I feel about academics, I feel like it's more important than what happens on the field. Okay. And the reason why is because I feel like I'm just like every other coach. If I'm pushing football, how can get you better in football? All right. That's going to come. My biggest goal is to make sure that these babies have something set up for after football. Okay. And that's what stuck with me most, because the most scariest part of my career, it was graduating and not knowing what was next, coach. You get what I'm saying, Coach Cole? You done played your 4 years, right?
Yeah.
You gave this coach everything that you got. But then when you graduate, there's no sense of direction of what step I need to take next. So after experiencing that myself, you know what I'm saying, I felt like it's my due diligence to make sure that my kids don't have to experience the same fear that I did when I graduated.
Right.
So when it comes to these job fairs, all this type of stuff, job fairs and resume building seminars and how to dress for your interview, we funnel our kids in there for that type of stuff. Right. Because we want them to understand it. Yeah, football is just your access to get what you need later on in life. You can't play this forever. So, you know, and that's my goal, to change their mindset about using football, not letting football use them. And that's what I've done. You know, I told them to stop letting football use them. And what I mean by that is they come, they play for you, and they give you the bare minimum academically when these babies are a whole lot smarter than that. And I am, I would say, I would be one of the first people to say that is something that I admit that I'd done when I was in college, right? Football was everything. Baseball was everything to me, right? And the thing that showed the most longevity, that could sustain the most longevity and help me succeed in life, I put it on the back burner and kind of like halfway done it. So as a head coach now, I got to make sure I had to reverse my mindset of thinking, and I got to reverse these kids' mindset of thinking, because that's the way they're thinking too. They looking for the get-rich-quick scheme, all right? And that's the NFL, the major leagues. But in actuality, that's not always the right path. So it's just about checks and balances and making sure that they got their head on right and understanding that the body can only endure this for so long. So make sure you have a backup plan.
Yeah. May I piggyback off your deal, Bishop? Can you give us, Coach, an example of when one of your players wasn't doing it? How did you go? I know my first year at Texas Southern, we were playing Prairie View, and one of my kids didn't go to class. You know, we had signed in, and they got the information back to us, and I kind of, hey man, you suspended for this game, because at that time I had to make some points because it was early in my career. What are some of the things that you've done to make sure that these kids understand you ain't playing?
Oh, I call parents first and foremost to make them understand what is going on. I want
to make sure parents, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. It takes a village. It takes a village to do what we're trying to do. Like, I'm not in it just for the sports, you know. I don't think God blessed me to be in this position just to talk about football, you know what I'm saying, to make sure the X's and O's is right. Nah, he got me here for a reason, man. And it's to help these young men, you know, throughout their trials and tribulations in life. And I can only teach them through my experiences. I can't teach them from something I didn't learn from. And so I think that's all what it is, Coach.
Yeah. Any stories that you might have to sit up there and
I
sit?
utilize that big four. I know you know what the big four is, huh, Coach? Y'all got the big four, Coach. I utilize that big four a whole lot, Coach. And then I also, Coach, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I tax the whole team if one don't go to class.
No, wait a minute, Coach. Now, wait a minute. Now, we got late people. Now, you can't be throwing our turn. Tell our listeners what the big four is.
Oh, big four. Okay, big four is basically you bear crawl 100 yards down and you bear crawl 100 yards back. Okay, and then after that you basically burpee 100 yards down and you burpee 100 yards back, and then after that you roll. Okay, you roll down 100 yards and you roll back, and then after that you got bag push. You push the bag down for 100 yards and you push it back. So that's just one thing. But if it's continuous, then definitely I have to visit with your parent guardian to let them know what's going on so we can get on the same page and make sure that, the kid get in academic compliance.
Hey, Coach.
Wait, hold on, hold on 1 second. Wait, were you going to talk about this or you go?
Yeah. I'm talking about this. And Coach, after he experiences that big four, if he don't get it then, Coach, he may need some remedial training or something.
And then it turned into a big 8.
Oh, my Lord.
Hey, Coach, if he don't get it there, I don't think he's going to be there that long with you. I know you're not going to have that too much anyway.
Emmett Jones say Dawn Patrol. That's what we used to call it, Dawn Patrol.
Yeah, Dawn Patrol. Make sure they go into class. But I typically don't really have that problem. And then I'm not going to even tell you a story. Our academic rep, Dr. Delk, he does a great job of keeping us abreast of what's going on with our student athletes. Even though I know we're in the heart of the season, you can't just get tunnel vision on what's going on the football field. You got to make sure these babies are doing what they need to be doing in the classroom as well.
Now, Coach, I wanted to talk about, first of all, I wanted to point out something. They've got you third behind Texas Wesleyan and Ottawa University. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're third, but those guys have way more resources and scholarships than you do, don't they, Coach?
Absolutely. Both programs.
So, Coach,
both programs are sitting at 24 scholarships.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sitting at 13. Yeah. 13.
And you right in striking distance to win the conference. Now, Coach, do you all, because I was looking, does the Student Athletic, do they do a preseason all-conference team or anything like that?
Kind of, yeah, they do, but I don't. They do one, and it's already been set out the preseason polls and everything. But I don't think I've received the actual printout of it that came out after. To be told.
Well, do you have any players from all conference last year that are back that are going to make an impact?
Yeah, I have Keelan Mosley, my starting linebacker. Levon Williams is a tight end who's going to be great. That's one I would definitely push to try to get into the Legacy Bowl. And also Kevin Allen, my leading receiver. We're working on some stuff right now to get him back his year because his sophomore year he got hurt in the 4th game of the season. So we're working on getting that year back for him. But those three, I mean those two, I definitely would can throw off the top of your head some go-getters for us.
Now, Coach, when you're looking at these type of players that you got, let me ask you this. At your level, are you looking to build more? Because we've had various coaches with various different ways of building a team. Are you building your team for guys, hey, let me get you from high school or as a JUCO, or are you looking in the transfer portal for a couple of diamonds in the rough to say, if you come over here with me, I can put you in that next level?
I'm more of I love a strong foundation. And the foundation comes from the incoming freshman, okay? You typically don't have a lot of I guess you would say exchange when you start from with freshmen. And so just building a strong foundation, because eventually the patch job, which is what I call the transfer portal, that's just the patch job. When you weak at a position, you go in there and you grab one, okay? But if you build your program on patch jobs, eventually it's going to crumble apart. You got to have a sound foundation. And, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these kids that's jumping from school to school, okay? It's the reason why they're jumping. It's definitely a reason why they're jumping. And I've had some Division I guys come here thinking that the logo and what it came from was going to, change things. But then when they realize and they get out here in our domain, they realize, hey, we all the same. Because we have Division I talent here too, So it's all on the kid.
Yeah, you know Trey Oliver.
Yeah, Trey Oliver over there.
Head coach in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Yeah, yes, sir.
You guys sound y'all have somewhat the same philosophy.
He'll win a coach.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll win.
Shit,
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah,
look.
I actually got the chance. I actually got a chance to meet Trey. He's a good guy, and I asked him about playing the game, and because I'm like one of those guys that, man, listen, I don't care who it is, let's line up.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy. I would love to sit down and visit with him and learn from him and pick his head.
Gotcha. Bishop, you.
Well, I'm gonna get one last thing, Coach. Looking at your schedule and look at how it breaks down. One of the things, you've got the Grambling game, you go to Louisiana Christian, Rio Grande, but then on that back end, it looks like a couple of your tougher teams. When you're kind of navigating with the amount of scholarships, with the players that you do have, do you kind of break your schedule up in segments? Hey, we got a 3-game segment here, 3 here, 3 here. We're going to finish up. We want to be positive in each segment, because I've seen a lot of coaches, they don't like to talk about the schedule, but I know they like to manage the schedule, if you know what I mean.
I got to sweep October. October is my big one. I have to sweep October. Okay, if I sweep October, then we look in the playoff round. Like, I just got to sweep October. Get through September and sweep October.
See, that's what we wanted to hear. So, Coach, you know what? One of the things now, we're gonna come back because we know you're gonna sweep it. Now I'm gonna have a broom ready when we bring you on, okay?
Yeah,
then we're gonna have to auction it off and do something like that, because we gotta get that money in there for you, okay?
That's
so I'm gonna make sure I have that nice broom, them Langston colors, and we're gonna have to auction that thing off.
Sound like a play.
All right.
Yeah, I used to house Texas Wesleyan out of Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and they were really, really trying to build that program. And is this the same Ottawa that played in the KCAC?
No, this is that Ottawa there is still in the KCAC, because this is a branch off of that.
Okay.
So imagine in Arizona, and forgive me if I'm messing this up, but in Arizona, they shut down that division. I mean, the JUCO football, right?
Right.
And the only thing they really have is basically Northern Arizona and the Division Ones.
Right.
So that Ottawa and Kansas, they put a mock school together, and they just did it for basically to check and see what kind of I guess you would say static they would get. They put it out there, and they based it out of Arizona. And before you know it, they had people applying, and then they realized they had to go ahead on and turn it into a school. So they just took a mock and they just made it and they put it out there. So it's just gonna be online classes, and before you know it, boom, it ended up being a school, and they have it set up right there in Surprise, Arizona, Coach. And they out there by the who is that? The spring training facility. So when you go play them, you're looking at all these different Major League Baseball stadiums. So they're around money. So and they got money. They built a brand new football stadium, beautiful facility. Oh, look, coach, they figured out where to tap into more students at in Arizona, and the game plan that they put together, it worked, and now that school is booming and soaring. I don't see them lasting too much longer in NAIA, to be totally honest with you, as well as Texas Wesleyan. Like, the funding in there has changed a whole lot too. I can see them possibly bumping up to Division II or Division One AA before you know it as well.
Now you actually play in Arizona?
I actually play in Arizona, because we have to fly out. We fly out to Surprise every other year. And then when we had Arizona Christian and Ottawa in the conference, it was every year we were taking a trip out of there. But now Arizona Christian is out of our conference.
So are you coming out here this year?
No, sir. They come to me this year, and then we'll return the favor next year.
Oh man, I thought I was gonna be able to.
I know, Coach. I know, man. I would love to see you out there, man. I would have had you out there on the sideline with me.
well, look, Coach. We had a great time at the SWAC MEAC Challenge. We got to meet the legend, Pete Richardson.
Wow.
All of us did. Shit, man, I'm going to get in thinking like some of us, man. Unfortunately, it might be some jobs open in Louisiana, and, man, you're a Louisiana boy. You ain't got to say nothing.
Right down the street from Baton Rouge. Yes, sir.
Hey, look, we look between us three. We gonna find a spot for you, Coach.
See,
There we go. Hey,
Coach, you take me back now, Coach. Listen, I met Pete, Coach Richardson. They were recruiting me at the time when I did sign with. So I was being looked at from baseball and football.
yeah,
And Coach Pete Richardson was one of the guys that I got the opportunity to talk. So I left Southern because Coach Kadar wouldn't let me play football, y'all. That's what happened.
Well, let me make sure I let the fans know that man on the left that you seeing, he owned the Chicken Shack.
Get out of here.
And he's one of the number one. Man, when you say take care of the coaching staff and make sure we have a meal, he loves Southern. And of course, Pete Richardson is to the right. Yeah. My high school coach, man. We had a wonderful time.
Coach, that was your high school coach. Coach Pete Richardson was your high school coach.
Yeah, he coached me and all my brothers.
Wow.
Yes.
Man.
Pete is from Ohio. He's from Youngstown. Played with the Buffalo Bills. So when they talk about professional coaches, I mean, Pete played in the NFL, but once again, you know, I'm a big guy on doing it the right way. He went on to North Carolina and coached at Winston-Salem under Coach Hayes and all those great guys.
Now, did he do a little stint at Elizabeth City as well, too?
Yeah, and then he coached at Winston-Salem.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And then went on to take the job at Southern University, and the rest is history.
That's a beautiful story. It's coaches like Coach Pete that inspire me. You know, his situation is no different from mine. You know, he had a small school, and when he got his opportunity in the
what Rocky got excited, hitting buttons over there.
Yeah. My bad, guy. Go ahead. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying that, you know, he it's the inspiration when you know, as a coach, you know, you look at and you see where, you know, these guys who are legends, you know, start off at and then where they end up at. You know, it's no different than, for example, Coach Joseph. You know, he's here with me, and then he make it to the top. He's at Nebraska as the head coach, interim head coach, and then he's the head coach at Grambling right now. And I can remember in 2008, me and him walking across the field at Grambling. So this is going to be a kind of like it's going to have a lot of sentimental value to it, because I can remember as a grad assistant, me and him walking across the field. At the end of the game, we walking to the hill now. I know where the hill at Grambling. All right, we walking across the field to the hill together. Now, whoever thought that almost 20 years later, 25 years later, that we'd be across from one another coaching against each other him at Grambling and me at Langston.
We want you to be walking down the hill.
I'm walking down it.
Yeah. So you're gonna be one of our HBCU Coaches Corners, man. You focus on having a great season, and
yes, sir.
You know, we know and see the work that you putting in this game, man, and we've put a lot of good coaches out there as well. You know, we ain't saying that we get them hired, but we sure help them, huh, Rocky?
Oh yeah.
No, Coach, I just thank y'all for y'all time and just acknowledging what I've done, man. That means a lot. You know, it keeps a humble person working, you know, and I appreciate everything that you guys are doing for all of us upcoming coaches. You know, it's always a pleasure to sit down and visit with you guys.
Man, Coach, I thank you for your time and effort. I think the guys have something to say.
Yeah, Coach, one thing now, and this is a small thing, but this is a promotion. I'm a promoter guy, right?
Okay.
Because, see, when we went to do people need to know that record that you got, right? So I want you to tell that SID to get them an intern just to update that website. Because people going to come look and check you out, Coach, and we want them to know they got them 70 wins and them players and stuff like that. So I know there's a lot of stuff going on. So trust me, this is not a criticism, but this is when people come on this show, people going to come check you out, Coach. They're going to come check you out.
Absolutely.
You know, so I want to make sure that we always, because like I said, I'm telling you, that barbershop, I'm going to the barbershop on Thursday, and every one of them guys go, hey, Mr. Campbell, I get Coach Morgan. Hey, man, follow him on social media. Coach, real quick, tell everybody how they can follow you on social media. And there you go, Coach. Let's get it together.
Okay, let me get you right. Hold on. I'll tell you how you can follow me on social media.
There you go. Coach, I'm telling you, they already know.
Yeah, well,
And some of them, like I say, and the mamas, the man say he got a fiance. Okay, so
and I want to. I like to say something to them.
My Instagram is Quinton Morgan 5. Okay, and then my Facebook is just Quinton Morgan, and then my Twitter is Coach Q Morgan. So any one of those platforms, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, or you can just email me at Quinton QUINTON .Morgan MORGAN at Langston.edu. I'm very, I guess you could say, savvy on getting on my emails and checking them and responding back. So if it's someone that you think could come in and help, and he's serious about them academics and trying to develop and become a better man, please send them my way. I encourage it.
Well, I want to say too, when we talk about these blueberry programs and look, my guys got on me about putting the age on older coaches, but you got some flavor, you got some.
We lost you, Coach. You there?
It looked like he froze.
I know I heard y'all talk. Y'all talked about the Grambling internet last time. Y'all ain't about to talk about the internet.
What it was, he used that old term flavor, and it conked out on him. He threw it dial up. That's what he said. That's what it was, Coach. Hey, Coach, listen, there's a question in the chat also, and I love when people ask this question.
They
wanted to know, how can they give donation information? Is there any type of thing? Can they go to the website and check that out, or email you? They need to just email you.
LangstonSports.com. There is a link on there where you can send to our send money to our foundation, the football foundation.
All right,
it's very simple. Just go to LangstonSports.com, and I think there's a tab that says support, and then you'll see football foundation.
That's awesome. Okay, Coach. Like I said, we trying to get everybody right around here.
Well,
Coach.
Hey, can I get my word in now?
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
I'm trying to sell some here. When you guys running around talking about you need a damn coach, he young, he good looking, he damn near married, he don't prove it on the field, he don't prove it in the classroom, and we ain't got to go get no NFL guy from the running back position. We got a guy right here that need to get one of them jobs. So I just want to make sure we put that out there.
So I'll put my wins up against anybody, Coach. I thank you for speaking on that, for real. And it meant a lot for me to hear you say you don't see anyone right now with that type of record. So I thank you guys for noticing. That means a lot to me.
Yeah,
Coach. Coach, you're very impressive young man, and I look forward to following Langston this season. And I wish you guys a great outing this Saturday, Coach. I'll be paying attention for sure.
Man, thank y'all so much, man.
Ain't no way, man. Shoot a shout out to Al Wash in the Shreveport Classic,
Absolutely.
the WLA. I think it's gonna be a good one. I think they got you guys there for 3 years.
Yes, sir. Dr. Scott, Dr. Travion Scott helped put it on together. He called and they made the numbers work, and I thank him.
Man, that's a good deal for NAIA school, man. Division II. Great opportunity for you guys to get exposure, especially for you, Coach.
And Coach, you know what I told him, my coach. I said, when Grambling got Ohio State the very next week, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking about Canelo and Bud, right? All right, Canelo and Bud. So when you prepare for a champ, you got to bring in the champ to prepare you for the champ.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right, Coach? You hear me? If you prepare for the national championship team, Ohio State, you're gonna have to bring in a champ to prepare you for that champ. So to us, it's like Boots Enos going there and help Canelo try to prepare for Bud. So that's how we're looking at it. Like, okay, we look at it as you thinking highly of us if you putting us right before you play against Ohio State. That's how I look at it. So in order to prepare you for a champ, you got to play a champ, and we champs.
For sure, Coach. No doubt about it.
Hard work is the company of success. I got you, Coach. Thank you for your time and all that good stuff, Coach, man. We'll be in touch, of course. and we're gonna be keeping up with you. Hopefully, we can bring you back on when you're getting ready for the championship or headed to the playoffs.
Yes, sir. God bless you, gentlemen. Y'all have a great one.
Good luck.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Oh, Coach Cole, that was another great interview, man. You can Coach Cole set that up for us, man. But I don't know if he ever worked for you, Coach, but he's definitely one of your guys, no doubt about it. And he has the pedigree and the record that says that he is a quality coach and worthy of to be looked at if, in fact, there is a job opening in HBCU football.
Man, without a doubt, Coach, man. I mean, who we got, Coach? Who we got 70 wins? This coaching today in black college football. I don't know. Yeah. Well, first of all, you ain't even been at a place that long. The coach over 7 seasons, 10 seasons.
Well, we know in the SWAC, the longest tenured coach is Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. He ain't been there. They ain't played 70 games. So you know it ain't him. And so, therefore, there's nobody in the SWAC.
Nor in the MEAC.
In the MEAC, the longest tenured coach is Trey Oliver. He started in 2019. He may have played 70 games, but we know he ain't won all his games. So he don't have 70 wins either. So that's for sure.
Right.
And so to be perfectly honest with you, Coach, he's probably the winningest active coach in HBCU football.
So whatever, whoever, and however open up next year, he should be getting an interview or a call or something, don't he?
I would think.
If you're trying to hire the right guy.
Well, Coach, let me tell you what I'm gonna say. So I might have to call Coach. He might need an agent. I might need to go be Coach Morgan's agent. He gonna see what you do. See, Coach, listen, hit your boy up, because you ain't got to tell nobody. I had a deal already done, and you be out there like in Colorado, like Dion. You see what I'm saying? So hit your boy up. I know folks. I know some people now, Coach.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to get with him. I think you're absolutely right, and he need to be having an agent like now.
Yeah.
To be making some calls, and at least he could be on some people's list.
Hey, Coach, I want to say this because we got a person that checks us out, DLOB 2010. He want to know when we gonna have Coach Hampton on this show for UAPB. He said that's the only guy we ain't had, Coach. He said other than great. So he said, is Coach Hampton mad at you too? Why we can't get this coach on?
I think we didn't have Coach Hampton on, ain't we?
Coach, I think I sent some to them today.
Well, I wasn't when
because
I
you
was
sent some to the SID, right, Coach?
Yeah, I've sent some to everybody.
All right, Coach, you got to make that backdoor call because we got to get Coach Hampton on there.
Okay, tell
this
that
brother
guy
always shows up and represents and stuff like that. And I think that'll be a good interview. I think that'll be because you know what, Coach, what I have found out too, it is not about the record about how well these coaches interview and talk to us. You know, sometimes you're shocked. You know, you look at T-Buck, you know what I mean, coming in. That was a great interview. These guys have something to say. So I just think as we're going down there, let's get them folks. Maybe we call Perry. Perry probably got a connection.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, guys, as you well know, I gave the Off Script channel almost an hour. So I appreciate everybody who has been watching on the Off Script channel. But it is that time. We're about to suspend the broadcast on the Off Script channel. But you certainly can catch the home of the HBCU Coaches Corner, the Rocky Miller channel, right here in the chat, man. I put it in there several times. I'd like to thank everybody who's been watching on Off Script, but you can switch over. Only thing you have to do is click the link, and you'll be right on. If you want me to give you a couple minutes, I'll give you a couple minutes to switch over. Once you switch over, go ahead and hit 1. Make sure you don't miss anything. I'll give you a couple minutes to switch over.
And
but
Coach, we got to get TC back on here too, Coach. You know what I mean? We had a great interview with TC. And he done moved. See, now Rocky ain't got to ask him no more prime questions. You know, he don't want his own national championship. Rocky actually ask some football questions.
No, Coach. Hey, man, at the end of the day, I just wanted to understand what it was like to be over there with Prime each and every day, and he certainly made his mark in the SWAC as a coach. There's no doubt about that. And you know, and Prime actually took a lot of the players with him to Colorado, so Coach Taylor had to build his program essentially from scratch. Now he had a huge national brand by the time he took over as coach. Now I will say that Jackson State is a national brand, no doubt about it.
Well, see, but my point, you ain't got to ask me that no more now, Rocky. You done got that question out the way.
Yeah.
I do. Got to ask you no Prime questions. See,
no.
It's tough football now.
Let's switch this thing to the SWAC MEAC Challenge.